Minecraft has stood the test of time across generations, and now that the movie has been a big hit, there's no way you haven't at least heard of the franchise. But did you know there are tons of amazing facts about the film, its possible sequel, and the games themselves? In the first movie, the game's main character, Steve, was played by Jack Black. The post-credit scene makes it very clear that the confirmed sequel will feature the game's other main character, Alex. And for anyone still unsure, the film's director Jared Hess has already said that's definitely the plan. Since the in-game characters are just avatars with no voices or personalities, the team had to come up with their own take on Steve. The result? Pretty hilarious. After all, it's Jack Black, and comedy is what he does best. The same goes for Alex, who was voiced in the post-credit scene by Kate McKinnon, another top-tier comedian, so it's safe to assume she'll be super funny too. But there's an interesting detail. We don't actually see her face in the scene. That's because Kate only voices the character while the body was played by another actress, Alice May Connolly. So who will play Alex in the next movie is still a bit up in the air. Pretty impressive, right? And this is just the first of the 16 amazing facts you didn't know about the Minecraft movie 1 and 2. So hop on board, another episode of Cinewave is starting. Coming up with a storyline for the movie was no easy task, and for a pretty obvious reason. Minecraft doesn't have a story. You just spawn into a blocky world and try to survive however you can. Plus, there are no real characters or dialogue, so the filmmakers had to invent an entirely new cast and plot from scratch. Well, almost from scratch. Lucky for the writers, there are a few Minecraft spin-offs that are more narrative-driven. The first was Minecraft Story Mode. As the name suggests, it focuses more on storytelling and player choice. Next came Minecraft Dungeons and then Minecraft Legends. These two had the biggest influence on the movie in various ways. First, the Orb of Dominance, the magical artifact that opens the portal to the Minecraft universe in the film, was introduced in Dungeons, and it also appears in Legends. Second, the whole war plotline between piglins and humans, that came straight out of Legends too. Malgosia, the main villain in the film, is an original character, but she's clearly inspired by the Seer, a baddie from Legends as well. He's also a sorcerer, wields the Orb of Dominance, and wants to plunge the overworld into eternal night so piglins can take over. Sound familiar? Great Hog, on the other hand, is a character lifted straight from Legends. In the game, he's the main villain, with the Seer as his right hand. But in the movie, their roles are flipped. Malgosia is the big bad, and Great Hog is her brute enforcer. So yeah, Minecraft Legends was clearly the major source of inspiration for this live-action adventure. Ever wondered why the live-action adaptation is called a Minecraft movie instead of something like Minecraft the Movie? Turns out there's a reason for that. According to the director, the idea wasn't to create the ultimate adaptation of the game, but just one more version with its own twist. And honestly, there are quite a few things that are really different from the game. You'll notice that when you check out our videos on the differences between the movie and the original game. And hey, if you love exploring the world of Minecraft, whether it's by playing or just watching videos, drop a comment below with #Steve to show you're just as adventurous as he is. Whenever a piece of work, whether it's a game, cartoon, book, etc., gets a movie adaptation, the biggest factor that determines the quality of the new version is whether the people involved in the production are actual fans of the original. Thankfully, that was the case with a Minecraft movie. The actor who plays Henry, Sebastian Hansen, is a real fan of the game, and not just a casual one. During the pandemic, he even did Minecraft speedruns to beat the Ender Dragon as fast as possible. He said he's finished the game in under 30 minutes. Now we get why the movie isn't about the characters going after the Ender Dragon. Henry would have found and defeated the beast so fast, the film would have ended in half an hour. But even before the movie started production, the idea of a Minecraft-based movie was already out there. The thing is, it originally came from a fan who launched a crowdfunding campaign to try and make this dream a reality. However, the project was shut down by Marcus Notch Persson, the creator of Minecraft himself. After all, he owned the rights to the game at the time. That said, as time went on, tons of fan-made Minecraft content started popping up online, especially animations. In fact, there are whole YouTube channels dedicated to creating animated shorts set up in this amazing universe. One part of the Minecraft universe you might not know about is the book series. That's right, the franchise is so massive and beloved that it even has its own novels. The stories are written by different authors and feature all kinds of different plots. For example, Minecraft the Island is about someone who survives a shipwreck and wakes up in the Minecraft world. And here's the coolest part. There's an audiobook version of this volume, and it's narrated by none other than Jack Black. way back in 2017, long before he was cast to play Steve in the movie. There was a time when tons of urban legends were being created around games. And we're not just talking about spooky stories, but rumors that a lot of people actually believed were true. That's when Herobrine was born. According to fans, he was a version of Steve with white eyes who would secretly watch players while they played. The creepiest part of the story was the claim that Herobrine was the ghost of Notch's brother who had supposedly drowned in a pool. His soul was said to be trapped in the game to haunt players because Notch had stopped paying attention to him while he was busy making Minecraft. Of course, it's all just an urban legend, at least according to Notch himself, who has debunked the story and confirmed that he never had a brother, only a sister. One of the biggest challenges in Minecraft is definitely beating the game's final boss, the Ender Dragon. So much so that many veteran Minecraft players have never even managed to complete that challenge even after playing the game for years. Because of this, a lot of people expected the Ender Dragon to be the main villain in the movie, but that's not the case. However, things could have turned out very differently. In an earlier version of the script, the character's mission was to defeat the dragon, which was probably necessary for them to return to the real world. You can bet we're covering every single one of these worlds in our videos about your favorite animations, so hit that subscribe button to keep getting them, no matter where in the multiverse you are. Back to that older version of the movie, it actually started being developed before Jared Hess came on board as director. At the time, the film was being directed by Peter Sollett, and the Ender Dragon wasn't the only major difference between that version and the one that made it to theaters. Steve himself would have been completely different. Instead of looking like a normal human, he would have looked exactly like he does in the game, a fully blocky character, which honestly, some fans probably would have preferred over seeing Jack Black in the role. The weird part is, the main characters were still going to be regular humans, meaning they came from the real world, but Steve most likely would have been born in the Minecraft universe itself. Over the years, the franchise grew massively. At this point, there are several different Minecraft universes. For example, the books all take place in different realities. Another timeline is the story mode spin-off we mentioned earlier, where there are lots of blocky humans like Steve. In that story, the Ender Dragon is defeated by a group of adventurers called the Order of the Stone. Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Legends also take place in totally different realities from the original game. These versions feature unique monsters and items, and in them, there are plenty of humans in the overworld, and they have to fight threats like the Arch-Illager and the Piglins. And of course, we can't forget the timeline where the movie actually takes place. In this one, everything's live action. All the humans come from the real world, and they don't turn blocky, not even when they arrive in the overworld. Everyone knows Jack Black nailed it as Steve. He completely stole the show, but that almost didn't happen. Things could have gone a totally different way if they'd stuck with another idea. Jack Black wouldn't have played Steve at all. He was originally going to voice a talking pig. The pig would have acted as the main character's guide, and if Jack Black's Steve is already hilarious, just imagine the kind of jokes and memes we would have gotten if he'd stayed on as the pig. The craziest part? The idea of Jack playing the game's main character came pretty late in development. By then, the movie was already in an advanced production stage. That's because the original plan was for Steve to be played by a different actor, Matt Berry, who's also known for his roles in various comedies. That only didn't happen because the movie was delayed due to the writer's strike. By the time filming could finally begin, Matt was already tied up with other projects. Because of those scheduling conflicts, they had to recast Steve. Since Jack Black was already involved in the project and has been a longtime friend of the director, he ended up sliding perfectly into the role. The poor pig got cut from the story, but it kinda makes sense. Steve basically took over the guide role for the other characters anyway. One valuable lesson we can take from all this is that some mistakes actually turn out to be blessings, and that was definitely the case with a particular bug during Minecraft's development. It led to the creation of one of the most beloved monsters in the entire franchise, the Creeper. It all happened when the developers were working on pigs. Due to a coding error, the pig's model got stretched out and started walking upright, which made it look super bizarre. But Notch loved how creepy it looked and decided to use it as the base for a new mob. All he had to do was paint the thing green, and just like that, what was once a messed up pig turned into the iconic Creeper. According to the director of a Minecraft movie, one of the goals he and the production team had was to make sure every structure shown in the film could actually be built in the game. And while most of them are actually pretty faithful, we can't really say they fully met that goal. The reason? One of the funniest scenes in the movie, the one where Steve sings the theme song for his fried chicken shop. The contraption used to fry the chickens can technically be built in Minecraft, but when fans tried to recreate it exactly like in the movie, they realized it doesn't really work. That's because the chicken meat gets completely destroyed by the lava. We've got 2 more videos on your screen. Click on one of them to keep having fun with us, alright? Thanks for hanging out, and see you next time!